Tony, can you explain what a match means like this to Blyth?
Match means everything to Blyth. Competition would mean everything to any non-league chairman. I was just talking to the chairman of the league who was here on Saturday, and he was telling me he knows of at least 98 managers who are green with envy. I said, well, green and white with envy would be better. But it means everything, transforms the season, gives a huge boost to the players. Really looking forward to going on live TV, I'm sure they all are. Some of them have got an association with Hartlepool, so it's yet another fillip to their hopefully performance on Friday, that they're going back to the place where they started off, and hopefully them show that they made a big mistake by letting them leave the club.
And there's a massive history in the FA Cup for Blyth and cup runs. You've done it quite recently as well against Blackburn for the third round. Always
been a history, even before the Second World War. Before I ever got involved with the club, there was a huge history. I've been very fortunate. People on the committee who've been around me, helping me out. This isn't a one-man band. That we've got a committee of dedicated people and volunteers on every match day who help the club out. The club wouldn't be able to run without them. But you get this little bonus. You need a huge amount of luck to get this far in the club. Any non-league club. 2 of our matches we could well have been dead and buried, but we got that little bit of luck. And here we are, looking forward to Friday.
You're up against Coronation Street EastEnders on television, which is going to provide biggest entertainment.
So these guys to provide the entertainment on the pitch, and I'm sure there are people who watch television for one reason, but I know for a fact there's a lot of people who watch television for football, and particularly at this stage of the FA Cup. I'm sure non-league supporters up and down the country will be watching this game with interest. And we just hope we can provide the surprise that I know that everyone wants.
Hi Tony, it's Ian from the Community Foundation. I was speaking to David Sheepshanks, who's the former chairman of Ipswich. He's currently chair of the UK Community Foundations, and he was really inspired by your story about your personal philanthropy and how you came to offer in-kind sponsorship to the Community Foundation on the front of your shirt. I was just wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about that and how it came into play.
Well, I was quite surprised that there was this football link. I didn't know anything about David. He's obviously at the national umbrella for all of the various other community foundations up and down the country. And believe it or not, I'd never even heard of the Community Foundation when I decided to set up the foundation that I set up. And I decided that if I didn't know anything about it, there must be hundreds of other people in the North East and indeed in the UK who don't know anything about this organisation. When I came to look into it, I found out that the North East Community Foundation is in fact the biggest in Europe. That says a lot about the generosity of the people of the North East. So if I can just do a little bit of something to promote the organisation and perhaps capture 1 or 2 other people who might be thinking along the same lines as me, it'll all be worthwhile. Clearly the publicity we get on Friday might take it nationwide and might do all the other organisations up and down the country the same amount of good.
So you're very much following in the lead of Barcelona then by...
Well, I have to say that when I contemplated doing it, I did think about what Barcelona and 1 or 2 of the other big clubs did. If they can do it, why can't Blyth Spartans?
Hartlepool, obviously we know are going through a bad time. Are you the underdogs?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, they're a side which are struggling in the professional game, you know, so they're at a very, very good level. They're not struggling in the Evo Stick North, you know, or the Evo Stick Prem, so we're still underdogs. We do understand that, we'll take that on. It's something we don't expect to be favourites for the game. They've got home advantage, they've got home crowd, they've got full-time training, they've got resting times, which is the biggest thing between the pro game and the amateur game. It's the rest in between training. So, you know, they've got everything going for them. They are struggling a little bit in league, but, you know, they're not getting slaughtered by teams. You know, it's 3-1s or 2-1s, so they're obviously in games. They've got half the league on loan to them, so they seem to get loan players in every 2 minutes. So, yeah, we're underdogs, but we are very positive about the game, and we'll go there and give it a right go, you know.
So Tom, players like Nathan and Jordan who have been playing at professional clubs, do you sort of adopt training methods or any sort of mentality from them two guys who have obviously been in professional clubs?
Well, I think most of the players have got to be in a pro club at some times of their career, you know. To play at our level, you've got to have great technical ability, which you get by being coached at pro clubs. You know, I think Jared Rivers was at Middlesbrough, Matty Wade was at Motherwell, Michael Richardson at Castle, obviously Nathan, at Hartlepool, David Mullen. We've got abundance of players who've played there. So all we've got to do, you know, I think what people don't understand at non-league level, you probably get one training session a week. You get in, by the time you get them in, 6:30, get them turned round, give them some biscuits and a cup of tea and all that, and at 7 o'clock you get them on the pitch, you've got about 3/4 of an hour, then you get them off the pitch and you talk about the game. So we haven't got a huge amount of time to work with these lads. We find our biggest coaching sessions is games. That's why we are very vocal on the line, because that's, for us, is our coaching session. And we try to develop things bit by bit as the games develop. The lads have been here for, most of them's been here for probably the best part of last season. And they know what we require. We don't hide things, we play a certain shape, and that's it. We've got to stick to our beliefs, and we do respect the lads and trust the lads. So the sessions are, you know, sometimes they go on a bit, but we can only do so much in a session.
What do you think when you were going back to Hartlepool? Have you got friends there still? You know,
Yeah.
mates, that kind of thing?
Well, I couldn't believe it, to be honest. You know, I'd actually just did an interview on BBC Newcastle, and they'd asked us who I wanted, and you know, I said Hartlepool being there for 3 years, and to get them, I just, you know, really couldn't believe it. Straight after, I was having texts, phone calls and stuff off lads there, you know, people who I've played with, you know, straight away giving it all. You know, I'm going to be playing up front against you because, you know, have the better of us and stuff. But no, really, like, couldn't believe it, but looking forward to it. Like, couldn't hope for a better draw.
So wind up started immediately, the draw to come in from, who might be marking you and that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like Jordan Richards, I was good friends with him there, and he rang us straight away. I mean, he plays right wing or right back, and he's ringing us telling he's spotted the gaffer, he's going to be playing up front just you know, to get the better of and that. It's just like, yeah, you know, start straight away. I've still been in contact with a few of them since then, and I think they're looking forward to just as much as us.
Can you give an insight into what it's going to take to beat them? Have you got any special sort of knowledge and tactics?
Well, I wouldn't like to say too much, like, you know, I don't want to hurt any of their feelings or something and stuff, but no, I think personally I know where we could probably, you know, get the better of them and stuff, so hopefully that'll help out and we could take it into the game on Friday.
And what was it mean to you two as players to be on the BBC line?
For me, after the last 2 years, I could never expect to be here. After Blyth came calling, and within a matter of months we're playing in the FA Cup on live TV. It's unbelievable, really.
Well,
Have you got ambitions of a senior captain on Ireland one day?
One day, hopefully. Yeah.
They're obviously doing really well in the
Yeah,
qualifying
yeah,
championship.
yeah. Hopefully, you never know what the future holds. Hopefully, one day I'll get a senior cap.
I think do you know the story about Jordan and his injuries? Do you want to go roughly about what's happening at Sunderland?
About 2 years ago, I had a cruciate knee ligament injury. Was out for a year, came back in the very first training session, it went again. So I was out another sort of 6 to 8 months, did pre-season with Sunderland, but got released, and then Blyth came calling. So now I'm here.
So it's a massive achievement. You're talking about character and attitude. To get that sort of bad injury, a bit like a Ryan Taylor at Newcastle, and then to be released and then to come back and play as well as he has done, it's a huge testament to the lad's character. You know.
Did you think you'd get back? I mean, you must have had some desperate times.
Yeah, after the first one I didn't, I thought, you know, I could get through it, and then after the second one I thought, that's it, you know, finished, but surprisingly it really does, the knee feels really good, so it does.
Did you feel Sunderland should have kept you on to give you another chance, or could you understand?
I think I could understand like where they were coming from, but they did give me the pre-season and said, look, get fit with us, and if you find a club, fair enough. And then they did. I obviously came here to Blyth, so. I
think this is the fine lines of football, isn't it? You know, you're talking about Hartlepool being pros, and our lads have all got stories to tell about how they've been faced rejection, really, and come back out of all that and play exceptionally well, the Blyth Spartans, and kick on. I keep on saying it's a young side, Blyth, but they've all been through the same sort of stuff, you know. So I think that ties them together because they all know what they've all been through. Obviously, Jordan's a little bit different because he's been through hell and back, you know. But the rest have all been rejected at some time. And I think that's why the change was pretty tight.
And that's a good chance for them to prove that they shouldn't have been rejected.
Yeah, to be honest, they've proven enough at Blyth to, you know, I think we average about 8 or 9 scouts at our games, you know, they're coming from all over the place. You know, so they are being looked at. It just, in football, the difference with pro at the second division level and our level is just somebody just fancying you and taking a chance on you. I don't think there's a huge amount of, and ability-wise, different. Once you're in the pro game, obviously you've got the full-time fitness and so forth, help you, but there's not a huge amount of difference in quality of players. It's like I say, it's just that little bit of chance, you know.
Jordan, are people in Ireland conscious of Blyth Spartans and the famous FA Cup tradition?
I don't know if they know about the full history, but I'm hearing a lot of people like on my Facebook and that wishing me good luck, and obviously they're going to be taking a notice from now on back over there.
Tom, you mentioned about Hartlepool struggling at the moment. Is this as good a time you could have to play them?
I suppose if you're going to play somebody, you want to have somebody who's playing who's struggling, but I know a few lads that know Paul Murray, and if I was in his shoes, I would use this as a chance to get back on board winning games, you know. And any manager, you go through a bad run, I think you're always looking for the next win to kick you on, no matter where it is. You know, if it's a League Cup or a FA Cup game or whatever, it's outside the league situation. And if you put a win together, it could kickstart your season. So I think they're probably looking at the game as a kickstart for them. A game that they're, you know, what I've heard, it very confident in winning. So, you know, for them, it could be a massive game for the rest of their season. So, but I suppose if you're going to play somebody, you want somebody who's going through a bad spell. We're going through a pretty good spell. I don't know the stats, but I know we've only lost a couple of games in about 14 or 15 games, and we've had 12 away or something in that lot. So it shows great character by our lads, and I don't think we'll be fazed by the game, but you know, obviously we're still underdogs for the game, you know.
You're quite happy working for Paul Baker?
I know Bakes, I was.
At the moment, I'm in big chief scout at Buddles.
Yeah, well, I was assistant manager with Bakes, yeah. Bakes actually sacked us, by the way. But, I got sacked from Blyth and went to Gateshead as manager.
Right.
So he did us the best favour in the world because I was assistant manager, and all of a sudden I went to management. But it was good working at Bakes because he's very, very professional. And I learned a lot of good things from him, which just held me in good stead, you know. But yeah, Bakes has been a couple of our games. But I can write it down from because we don't change how we play, you know. So it's not really rocket science what we do. We haven't really got the facilities and the time to change our tactics, and you can only play with what you've got, you know. So we play a certain way because that's what we've got. It's not like a pro side who's got maybe a squad of 20 odd, 25, 26 players. We've got what we've got. We trust them, we believe in them, and we're just going to get on the pitch and give it a go, you know.
And the support you could have on Friday could be...
Yeah, we'll have support. They'll be loud. They'll be loud. That's one thing about it. They'll be loud, and you know, we've had some great times in this cup. You know, we've had some fantastic days out. We've had 5 away out of 6. This is the 5th one out of 6 away. So it's been great, and it's built a bit of a bond with the supporters as well. So we hope that this win or lose kickstarts our season as well. You know, we're down the league a bit. We've got loads of games in hand. We're playing exceptionally well at the minute. And win or lose, I think the link with the supporters will benefit us for the rest of the season, you know, and beyond. Like.
So how much heart can you take from watching Warrington's heroics the other week? Obviously against a team from the same level as
Yeah, to be honest, the difference is they were at home. You know, I watched that game and the pitch wasn't great. It's a bit like our pitch at the minute, but it's a bit muddy in that, so Exeter kept on trying to play football and Warrington just played the conditions, and I think that's how they won the game. They played the conditions really well, and even at the end, Exeter were still passing the ball at the back, and there was 87 minutes on the clock, and they were still trying to pass the ball around the back. So that maybe is the difference between the footballing side and the side which want to win the game, you know. So just hope Hartlepool do that against. I don't think they will, like, but you know, I know the Hartlepool pitch is very, very good. which does suit us a bit because we do play football, you know. So, but we take heart in all the non-league side, you know. We're a bit of a flag bearer for non-league football, same as Warrington. Non-league football needs as much credit as it possibly can get, and I think the FA Cup puts us in the papers. That's why we've actually embraced the press, because we're doing for non-league football. You know, it's the blood of football in the country. It's the blood of the FA Cup. You know, it's the heartbeat of the FA Cup, and a lot of people forget about the non-league side, but it's a huge game. You know.
Can I ask the Chairman what this kind of game means financially? Because you obviously get prize money and TV money and that kind of thing.
Oh, it transforms the budget for the season quite simply. If we're fortunate enough to win on Friday, clearly we've already pocketed, well, not quite pocketed yet, but the check's in the post, as they say, for the TV coverage. It's going to be the equivalent of the entire budget that we put together at the beginning of the season, and that's what the FA Cup does for any non-league team. If you get the second round, it more or less doubles your budget. And we've already discussed with Tom exactly what we're going to do with those winnings to push on promotion. As Tom said, we're 9 games fewer played than top of our league, Skelmersdale. Clearly we've got to win those games. We won on Saturday, hard game. We've just got to keep winning those games and push our way up the table. And as I say, we've had discussions with Tom about where the money's going to go. We've just signed a new lease on Croft Park from Northumberland County Council, as it is now, for 99 years. Part of that deal means we've got to maintain the ground, so some of that money will go into a separate maintenance budget for the ground for the forthcoming years, and the rest will be spent on strengthening the squad. It's a bit of a double-edged sword getting this far in the Cup. We've got some good players, we know. However, the more exposure those players get, Tom's already mentioned that because of the way we're progressing, scouts are coming to watch us. Now the whole world's going to be watching us. So, you know, some of these guys who can play well and who could easily push on up through the leagues will be under the microscope, and a good performance will obviously enhance that. Blyth never ever stop a player moving on. That's always been the policy. We believe if we bring a player on from youth through the team, it's a demonstration of how good Blyth Spartans is as a club, and that's the policy of the club all the time, to encourage players to play at the highest level possible.
Do you get transfer fees or a little bit? Or?
Well, we've got some players on contracts. As a non-league club, you can only have so many players on a contract because of the potential liabilities. If you get a bad injury, etc., you're still paying out. So to find balance, managers always pestering me to put another player on a budget, and I've got to say, oh, calm down. We've got to keep, you know, the finances in check. But that's what managers are always about. Managers are there to spend the money. Chairmen are there to pull the reins back sometimes. And that's the happy balance. Fortunately, we've seen we have an arrangement which more or less works. When Tom first started, he was on a very low budget, but things have improved. Crowds gone up. FA Cup helps to improve the crowds. So, you know, we've manipulated the budget from the start of the season, and things are pretty good.
Obviously, just how do you feel going back with Hartlepool? You know, big chance, isn't it?
Definitely. I think at the time, you know, Hartlepool struggled that season when I was there, and I always felt when I was there we didn't really. There was quite a few young lads at the time who didn't really get a chance. You know, I think Hartlepool were bottom of the league from February now to the end of the season, and you know there was the opportunity to give lads a chance, and I didn't think they did that. So come the end of the season, you know, there's quite a lot of people expecting them to go, and I've always felt that I never really got my chance. So to be able to go back is, for me personally, a massive chance to go and improve something, without a doubt.
I think the majority of the lads are, you know, what's left Hartlepool and other clubs are there to put a statement down, you know. I think that's what maybe sets us apart of the pro clubs. Well, not me, but the players have been there, lost it, and want it back, you know. And I think it's a different sort of attitude and commitment you get when you've lost it and you want to take it back, you know. Whereas somebody who's got it already don't have the same desire as what we've got, you know. And we are very hungry for a lot of reasons to be in this game, you know. It's not just proof points to Hartlepool, it's just proof points to yourself, you know. As a player, you want to see it somebody, look, you've let us go, but I've improved, you know. And I think a lot of people had stepped down to our level the physical side of the games, it is a very, very physical league, what we play in. And I think that's what people tend to struggle with. And I think if you can bring the physical game on top of your talent that you've already got and you improve on that score, I do think there's a huge amount of talented footballers in our league who are strong and could step up. You know, we played on against Whitton Albion on Saturday, and the kid who played for them, I cannot believe he's not in pro football. That Titchia, he was one of the best players I've seen in non-league football. There's a huge amount of talent there, and I just think some professional clubs need to take a chance on these players, you know.
We're trying to give the lads the best possible chance on Friday. We're all going down to Durham Hotel near Durham, Ramside Hall, for a pre-match meal, high carbs and all the rest of it. Give them the best possible chance, all be together, get the mindset all right, rather than coming in dribs and drabs, and hopefully that will just give us that little edge that we need to do the business against Hartlepool.
And if you win, where will you go afterwards?
Well, not leave Hartlepool, probably will stop the ball.
The clubhouse is open. We've left instructions with Tracy, the stewardess, that if they win, she can keep the clubhouse open till late, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of supporters to come back and have a last drink after driving back from Hartlepool to the club.
I think, you know, the win or lose, we are going to celebrate what we've done, you know. It's, you know, a lot of people are pretty blasé about, oh, in the second round of the FA Cup. It's amazing, you know. It's astounding, considering the games we've played. That run away from home when we played the FA Cup games I don't think we played at home for 10 or 12 games, you know. On the road midweek on a Tuesday, we should be travelling, not getting back at 3 o'clock in the morning, then have the FA Cup game in between that. And I think it was 10 games we played away from home in between that FA Cup game. So to achieve what we achieved with it, you know, Nathan's 21, Jordan's 21, the average age is about 21 in the team. So to achieve what we've done with a young side who've only been this level for a season is amazing. And I think to get in the second round is a huge achievement. To get to the third round is a fantasy land, you know. And that's what we've got to look at it. You know, we cannot belittle what we've done as a group of players. And I think win or lose, it will be celebrating what we've done, you know.
Would a replay be bad news? I mean, good news financially, but bad news for the fixture backlog?
Bad news for the fixture backlog, but we'll take it now if you give us it. So, you know, it's...
Let's have no negative thoughts. Get it out of the way on Friday.
But you know, if you can say, right, I'll give you a draw, you're going to play a pro side away on their patch on a Friday night when a lot of lads are working on Friday. A lot of lads are working till 12 o'clock, they can't get away. So if you could give me a draw now, I'll take it and bring them back to Croft Park, you know. Obviously we'd love to go and they win, but I keep on saying they're favourites, are massive favourites. You know, we've got lads who are work all week, and it's the rest, talking about the difference between pro and non-league, it's the rest periods you get in between training. Our lads at work, they don't get any rest, they just keep on going. So yeah, the draw would be not a disaster, it would be good, but for the fixture backlog it'd be tough, you know.
Which lads can't get away till noon and no work for him?
Matthew Wade is at work. I think Peter Jeffries is at work in the morning. Jared Rivers, but he just delivers paper, so that's all. No, he's got a paper. That's the in joke. He looks like a paper lad. He's only little, but he's got a paper. His mum was a paper shop. There's about 5 or 6 of them can't get away. So it's tough, but that's what they used to. You know, when we travel away, we played Hales Owen away 2 weeks ago. And we had to leave at 1 o'clock in the morning. The lads had to work. Some lads went in at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Got the bus at 1 o'clock. Travelled 5 hours. Got away to Hales Zone. We got beat 2-0. Couldn't get a side out. Got back at 3 o'clock in the morning. Go back to work at 6. Go back to work Wednesday and back and train Thursday. So it's not easy, and I think this is why the players are playing non-league football at our level. You cannot ever, you know, they've got great attitude, great commitment. People do that, whereas they could go to other clubs around this area and probably get twice the money and just play on the doorstep. So, you know, the commitment that these lads have been through in the last 2 or 3 months have been absolutely astounding, you know.